Okay, so just hot off the press in the mail today, just opening up my new Glock 17 Gen 4 CO2 pistol. I've been waiting quite a bit for one of these. When I first started off, I got a non-blowback and I didn't really like it, but I digress. That's not what we're here. So opening it right in front of everyone. One of my buddies on the team had one of these and gave me the opportunity to shoot it, and I must say I fell in love with it very quickly. And the magazine, it looks like it's heavy duty. I love it. Compared to the other one that I had, this was the magazine for it, so it's a little different setup. This one can actually hold way more rounds as well. I think it's either 20 or 23 depending on ones, while that other one only held like 10. Yeah, so the spares that I've got, these ones hold 23. I think the one that comes with it is 20, but nonetheless that's still quite a bit. And blows right back, slides forward, operates just like the regular Glock 17. Can't remember, I think I had a Gen 4 at the time before I sold it off, but it feels just like the real thing. That slides all that. You're able to slide that bad boy right in. And let me open up one of these spares. As an LMG roll, I've realized more and more how important it is for me to have a reliable backup to engage on those short encounters. And of course, so all about it says CO2 use only. I guess maybe you might think to use green gas, but whatever. But there's a warning, someone's done something. So those are what deals with that. So now I've got the 3 mags that will be able to be into my belt system and having these. So that's the unboxing and first impression of it. I'm pumped. Now I just got to decide if I'm going to spray paint it the camel color like I do with my other one. It's probably my nude. I'm probably going to do it anyway. And I kind of want to be able to remove this orange tip for being able to put silencers on there or light attachments sometimes. So, but at least for first impression and unboxing, I'm pumped up. Let's see what we've got else here for the instructions showing whatnot. Just typical instructions: firing, how to load, putting in your CO2 cartridge, and whatnot. Being able to slide the top, and here's the adjustment for the hop-up in here, which I wonder where that page go. Okay, so for adjusting the hop-up, you have to take it right off the top. I wonder if I'll laugh if this comes out just like a typical Glock pistol does. It looks like it does. It's where you just pull back just a little bit, pull these pins down. There's 2 pins. There's one on right here and one right here. They're kind of like a little set, so you pull it back just a little bit, pull them both down, and then it'll slide right forward. So I was able to get it. It's what you have to do is you cock it back, and then you just pull it back slightly on these tabs here. There's the one on each side. You just got to pull them down and then push it forward, and it will come out. And this will give you access to being able to clean it, maintain, do a couple things. And also right here, if you can kind of see, there's like a little turn knob right there. That's where the where your hop-up is, and you can do the adjustment there. So if you're finding that your BBs are, you know, just like any typical hop-up, so you'll be able to make that adjustment. And you kind of want to take this apart and see how. Okay, so take this out like so, and here is our barrel, and then the gas chambering area right here. So this feels like it's under a little bit of a, okay, I don't want to take this too apart. It's got your typical grease, and okay. So yeah, that's kind of, here we go. There's your barrel. and the hop up. And yep, so right here you can see, oh, it's pipes out. It has a nice little arrow to tell you the hop. So you can see the adjust here as you need to click up and down. And this is actually kind of difficult to, I'm trying to move this with my fingernail and I'm having almost no luck doing that. That's really, it's really tight. I mean, it's a good thing it is, because then you won't, at least it won't, yeah. But that's a little bit of the breakdown. I really wanted to break it down to that so then I could get to this here, because I want to take a heat gun to be able to get this off. I reckon this is probably glued in here, I think. So I'll double check it. But that's the breakdown of that, your barrel, top up, and all that. So I'm pretty pumped. And so now I've got the Glock broken down. The main reason, well, there's two reasons. First, I wanted to at least get a nice view of the internal parts on it, for one, and two, I want to be able to remove this orange tip. Now, there's tons of videos on it. Some are right, some are wrong. I'm not here to judge that. What I'm here to do is do it the way that I think would be the best suited. So I'm going to get this stuff out of the way. Just give me some working area. And the orange tip is, for the most part, glued in place here. You could probably try to take your pliers and you might be able to break this loose, but it feels like it's on there pretty tight because they are glued in. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to take the heat gun that I have, I'm going to heat up this barrel a little bit, and then that should loosen the glue up, and then I should be able to take this off, no problem. I'm also going to get a second pair of pliers so I can hold this because it'll get a little warm. So that's what I'm going to do there. Well, epic fail. Well, since I'm dedicated at this point, I guess I will just be taking some more heat to it and attempting to get the rest of this out. So, alright, so that's the orange tip removal, and that's also why I recommend breaking it fully down and getting this barrel alone, because this is still very warm. And if you were to do that with your hop up and barrel in there, I could be almost guaranteed you will destroy this. But if you just want to remove the orange tip on the outside, like rip that off and then not care about the inside because you don't plan on doing any attachments, I guess you could do that. But I do plan at some point to probably be able to put like those tracer rounds for like indoor, as we'll be playing some of that, so I might be doing that. Nonetheless, initial unboxing and the orange tip removal. Now that we've got that all done, let's go ahead and reassemble it, which this feels cool enough now. Yep. So you'll get your barrel and hop up back into here. It kind of goes a little fidgety, so just take your time with it. You don't want to shove it in there. Put this back in here, and then you take your spring. Okay, so now that upper is all put back together, and then from here we'll just leave that in the back. There's where these grooves will slide right in, then just make sure we're there, and then just drive it home, and we're good. So no BBs in here. There we go. So now orange tip is gone, and that is the Glock 17 Gen 4. All right, so with this I wanted to do a quick kind of side-by-side comparison to the Glock that I had starting off versus now the new Gen 4 that I just got in the mail. So actually the Gen 4 here is on my right, and the one I have been using is here on my left. I plan to camo this very similar to this one, I believe. I do like that setup, and yeah. I've since removed the orange tip on here, so then I can add accessories and whatnot later on. But the big thing you'll notice right away is magazine style. The non-blowback, it doesn't need as much of the gas naturally, so they kind of shaved down the magazine to be like this, which for loading and practicing was, I'm not gonna lie, I just didn't do it. It was near impossible trying to grab them out of me. It was kind of cool being able to hold 2 or 3 of these in one slot. We could only hold 1 of these, but when it came to like trying to practice, it just did not work out well. So that's one thing. Next is the magazine capacity. The 2 extra ones I've got, they hold 23 rounds, and the one that came with it holds 20. While these all only hold 10. So I've already maximized the amount of ammunition by, you know, a lot. Went from only 30 rounds to now 66 rounds. And plus 1 if I wanted to do it that way, so 67. Nonetheless, so there's that. As far as loading in the gas, the other big difference here is that you have a container for each magazine. And players I've talked to, they said they can get around, I think, 2 to 3 mags before that cartridge is empty. While this, the other Gen Glock that I had, it actually goes right here in the back. So it fits right in here and locks in. One thing that was kind of cool that I liked that they did here was that on the back of here there is the screw or the hex thing to be able to adjust this, so you could, it was all set in one. I really liked that feature, but that's my new compared to everything else. While here you have to have an actual one to set it to where, you know, boom, and you have to keep it on you. It would be kind of nice if the back removed, but might be space to put small one in there. I won't do that, but you know, that's the other things. This one does not blow back, and quite honestly, I never did take this thing apart. Never really looked at the instructions on how to remove it. So everything on here is stocked and never adjusted, which quite honestly, that's probably why I didn't get the best kind of distance out of it. But up until my LMG roll, I didn't really need the pistol that much. Your rifle, you could engage very closely, and I didn't find myself in too many situations of room clearing that it was necessary. And the few times I did, they would have been so close that that pistol was effective. But now as I switch over my LMG roll and have to engage in 50 feet or less, that pistol is just not doing it. So now the new Glock 17 will. Perhaps when I can get out into a field somewhere, I could do a side-by-side video comparison if need be, but I just wanted to give a brief overview of the blowback versus non-blowback on the basics of features. So there you go.